Good morning, boys and girls. It's time for the... Oh, wait, it's the Terminator. I'll be back. Okay, it's not your show, dude. It's mine. And you're going to give me a tuma. It's not a tuma. It's not a tuma. All right. Maybe that ain't that funny. I don't know. But, every day there's somebody new popping in here, and tune in tomorrow for another visitor. The Terminator, of all people. Geez, Arnold, you think you can get a life? Oh, you do have a life. Mr. Universe back in the day. All right. Had a good day selling, and it's kind of funny. I started thinking about it last night. I thought, you know what? There's got to be some kind of trend here, because certain days I just blow it out of the water, and then certain other days it's dead. So I kind of went through and did a little analysis, and I'm going to go through that with you real quick. I'm going to go through my numbers, what I sold, and how much I made, and cost of goods, etc. And then I'm going to talk to you a little about the eBay business in general, especially if you're thinking about starting an eBay business. Some of the things you got to think about and do and keep records of, etc., especially if you're going to go over the 20,000 limit. But I'll get into all that at the end of the video for those of you who want to stay tuned. Those of you who already know this stuff, you probably won't want to tune in unless you think you can pick up a tip or two. I don't know everything, but you daily pick up things and you learn, and through age and life you learn, and not just about eBay, but about everything. And hopefully that knowledge stays with you and you grow. But anyway, I'll get off that and get into this. So what I did, and I'm just going to show the screen of the first thing I sold. I went through and just did a 2-week analysis. Later today, I think I'm going to try going back even deeper. But it seems like to me that Mondays and Fridays are my slowest sales days typically. For some reason, I don't know what that is. People going back to work on Monday, and Friday they're looking forward to the weekend and going out and eating dinner after work with their significant others, kids, whatever. But it seems like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays and Sundays obviously are my biggest days. Wednesday's a little bit of a lag, but I just kind of went through and did an analysis for a couple of weeks, but I think that's holding true in other scenarios as well. I'm going to go back deeper, and then I'll give you an update what I find. But all in all, I mean, it's some good numbers, and I'm going to actually show you my numbers for the last 90 days. Again, I'm not bragging or anything, because it's not all profit. It's just sales. And it's not typical of everybody that's doing it, because not everybody has the numbers of what I have in listings. There's a couple people that have over 1,000 listings that I follow on YouTube, but none of them have the amount of volume that I have on eBay. But I'm also a full-time seller. I'm retired. I do draw a pension from my retirement. For those of you who don't know, that's United Parcel Service, UPS, and the freight side of that, not the brown small trucks, which is the bigger division. UPS has 4 different divisions, and the freight used to be a company called Overnight Transportation, and that's who I worked for. And we were purchased in 2005, so I finished my career with them, and I draw a pension every month for the rest of my life. Hopefully that's a long life. And so I don't have to do this. I do it, one, because I enjoy it. It's extra income to supplement my pension, and so that's why I do it. And the more I do it, and the more successful it is, and the more money I'm making, the more I want to do it. It's just keeping up with it's a little difficult, and it's a lot of work. So again, I'll get into what I sold first. And the first thing I sold yesterday was the last of these. I found these at the bins about a month ago, along with some Family Tree Maker and other DVD sets. I haven't sold any of those, and I was actually surprised, because I thought they'd sell first. Classical Conversations, Foundations. It's a Christian-based audiobooks. It's the last one I sold. I sold it for $14.95 plus shipping. It's medium L. I paid about 30 cents for this. It's a 3-disc set. So the profit on that was $12 after all fees. The next item I sold was I got this at the Goodwill, the local Goodwill. It's a Powder River, kind of a corduroy, and you can see it's got, the lining and stuff in it. It's a woman's jacket. It's a medium, by Panhandle Slim, kind of a Western theme. It's going to Maine. I bought it for $5.35. Sold it for $22.60 plus shipping. So after all costs, I made $14 on it. Not bad. The next item I got down at the bins, it's a Studio Manhattan canvas bag with a Imagine and a peace symbol on it. And again, this bag is kind of cool. It's got a leather strap. You can see it's Studio, and there's the logo on it. It's kind of a cross shoulder bag, over shoulder bag, maybe backpacking or something, or it's going to Central Texas, Lampasas Lizards country. I grew up in Central Texas, so it's going back to a place I know very well. Thank you for your purchase. The next item I found Saturday at the estate sale, where I picked up the Harley Davidson jacket and a bunch of other Harley stuff, and this was in the mix. It's not a single stitch, but it is a 1998 Merle Haggard t-shirt. It's XL. I had it for $39. Somebody sent me an offer yesterday for $33. I countered back at $35, and he accepted. And he's paying the shipping, and that'll be going out today. So the profit on that, because I paid, if 50 cents, because I bought a lot of stuff and a lot, but I don't even think I paid 50 cents for it, but that's what I'm using as a number. So I made $26 after everything. The next item is a Rawlings Youth Glove. It's a 10-inch, very nice glove. It's very good condition. It's not worth a whole lot. I got it at the bins. So again, I didn't pay much for it. Made $5 on it after everything. I got $6.90 plus shipping. That's going in a flat rate envelope. The next item I got also at the bins, and I've had this one for a little bit, probably a couple of months. It's a Resistol oval, kind of a fedora type hat, because a lot of Resistol people think of cowboy hats. But this one is vintage, and I sold it for $30. Plus shipping, and that'll go in a regular box. And on this one, I paid about 18 cents for it, maybe a quarter at the most. So I made $28 on this hat. The next item I got a couple of Saturdays ago at the one where I bought the Nintendo 64s along with some other games. This one I had a hard time getting to work, because it was really dirty like the others. I sold some the other day for $60, a Mario and a Super Mario and a Donkey Kong. Well, this one it was probably the least of all the values, but it's a magical Tetris challenge. Got some Disney characters in it. I got $13.99 with free shipping. I paid $1.56 for it. And so I made $7 on it after everything. The next item is a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon t-shirt. I paid 72 cents last year, and a lot of about 20 concert t-shirts. And that same week, I also found a bunch of distressed, cut up half shirts of different bands as well. Iron Maiden, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner, just a bunch of different various of The Who. And I still have a bunch of these. Most of the full-size concert shirts like this are pretty much going. They're not vintage, they're not single stitch or anything, but they are cool. And this person offered me $7 plus shipping. I'm trying to move the inventory, so I took it. Again, I had 72 cents in it, so when it was all said and done, I made $6. The next is an Eddie Bauer jacket. I paid $5.35 at the local Goodwill. This is a nice little puffer goose down jacket. It's I've had it at a higher price because Eddie Bauer is a better brand. But again, I'm trying to move these coats before winter's almost over, at least where I live, and I'm wanting to get rid of them before I have to store them. So on this one, I took $33. I sent out offers on it off the main eBay thing. When it says somebody's watching it, send an offer. I did at $33, and he accepted and paid it. That had to go in a number 7, 12 by 12 by 8 box. It's too big for a flat rate. And I actually lost about 4 cents on the shipping. But I made $21 when it was all said and done. And the last item I sold last night was something also I found at the bins. These are some Trip NYC goth punk rock pants. They got chains. They're heavy. Weighs over 3 pounds. And they're almost like capris. They're not full length, but the punk rockers, used to wear these a lot, and I guess there's still some people that wear them. But they're pretty cool, but they're heavy. And so I got 30. Actually, I did another offer on these. I took $32. I sent them out at $32 to get rid of them. It cost me over $10 to ship them because they were so heavy. And I paid $5.72 for them because at the Goodwill, it's at the bins, it's $1.59 a pound, and because they weighed what they weigh, it came out to $5.72 in cost of goods. So I did make $22 when it was all said and done. So all in all, I did 10 sales. I spent $21.95 in cost of goods. That's the purchase item price for all the goods I just listed or talked about. $223.95 in sales, and the total profit was $167. So I'll take that. That's a good day. A little above my average here lately. I've had some really good days and some slow days. But all in all, it's a good day, and it's definitely a good profit when you can spend $22 and make $167 profit. I don't know too many people wouldn't do that. I talked about that. Now, on eBay, I've been doing this since '04, part-time, when I was still working. I would do it on weekends, and sometimes during my lunch hour, I'd run and, check out some stores that were near wherever I was, if I could find any, and I know where all of them are in my area. But when I retired, it'll be 2 years in May, I retired, and the first year I didn't do a whole lot. I did this just barely, but I really wasn't out seeking material. I had inventory because, like a lot of people maybe may or may not know, I started this in sports jerseys. I know a lot about that, so I have a ton of sports jerseys, and I've sold a lot of them. Anything from soccer to hockey to baseball to football, basketball. The number one jersey to sell is hockey. It seems to sell the best, and it seems to sell at the better price. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't sell other ones at a good price. Football, basketball sell. Baseball, I think, is one of the nicest jerseys, but it's probably the least seller of all the jerseys that are out there. And for whatever reason, I don't understand that reason, but baseball jerseys just aren't quick movers, and I don't have a whole lot of them left. And I don't purchase them unless they're really nice or something rare. But anyway, getting off that, I decided a year ago to lose some weight. I went on keto and lost like 61 pounds. And I had so much energy, rather than sit and watch Dr. Phil and Let's Make a Deal and Price is Right and die in my chair, I decided to get busy and do this full time. And the more I did it, the more successful I got at it, the better it became. So basically, attitude's everything. And I'm very outgoing, as you probably have ascertained by now. I love to cut up. I love to talk to people. And one of the big things is working and talking. When you go to places, whether it's the bins or other places, yard sales, I talk to people, get to know them, make them feel at ease. And it's just my way. It's not because I'm trying to get anything for it. But you learn from people by talking to them. Why are you doing that? Why are you buying that? Why are you scanning books? Learning and watching other YouTubers, part-time pickers, Matt. I mean, the hard goods, I can't say enough about it. I've done some of it, but now I'm really looking for that stuff because the profits are there for that stuff. And like it's said many times, and I won't keep repeating myself, but the clothing is not where the profit is. I mean, there are some things, again, you can make money at, but generally it's the hard goods that you're going to make the money at, the video games, etc. Attitude, don't get discouraged. Keep plugging away. I see a lot of the blogs, RVA flips, some of the ones I'm on, and people are like, well, my sales are slow. Is anybody else's sales slow? What are you doing? Well, again, offers, discounts, diversity in your goods, having your stuff at the right price, comping the stuff on eBay to know what it's selling for. And again, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, but I do my research as best I can. And sometimes and it's an instinct. It's a unique item. I'm going to grab it and, try to see if I can flip it. And I mean, I bought a convict suit a couple months ago, and it was 14X. And I thought, God, who in prison's wearing a 14X? But because it was so unique, I bought it. It wasn't on eBay 2 days, and somebody in Europe paid me over $40 for that. I paid like $7.50 for it. And so it sold, and it was just a gut feeling that, somebody's going to want this, and it's huge. But that's what you do. You look for the unique. You can look them up. You may or may not find the item if it's really unique, but if it's something special in your mind and you don't see it every day, then that's probably something you ought to look at. And it just makes it more fun to play with and take a chance on. When you're doing your cost, of course, on eBay, if you don't go over 200 items and $20,000, you don't have to worry about basically the IRS. They don't report a W-2 to the IRS, or you don't get one, and they don't report you to the IRS. This last year, I thought I was going to hit that and stay under it, but I didn't. I went over because of PayPal and everything else. But the thing you need to do is you need to keep your receipts. Everything you buy at a Goodwill, make notes on your yard sale stuff, set up a Excel spreadsheet, keep all your receipts. Even though you're putting it in Excel, you're going to need a hard copy backup, and you're going to be looking at things like your tags, your fuel, your mileage. Compare those two. Keep records on both, but you can only use one of them. Your expenses, your poly bags, your tape, supplies, ink, your Dymo printer labels. That's what I use, a Dymo. I used to use regular paper ink, and I was going through $50 of ink every month. And I finally went out and found a used Dymo for $100, and it's the best thing I've done because I've already went through a roll of paper in the last, month and a half. But I'm not going through ink, and paper's a lot cheaper to buy than ink. All those things, and of course, don't forget the Postal Service. The number 7s, the flat rate padded envelopes. I mean, they have, when you go on there and sign up for their website and you order supplies, it's amazing how much supplies they got. The shoe boxes, all the other things that you can use that are absolutely free. So get those, and then a lot of them are priority services, so you're going priority on those. But I do ship a lot of priority in the number 7s, and I use the flat rate envelopes a lot, especially for jeans and small coats and things like that, because then it's not a weight issue. It's a flat rate, and for me with discount, it's like $6.94 to ship something in a flat rate envelope. So normally, I think if you go to the post office, it's about $8 to ship that same envelope. But when you're shipping jeans, if you don't have it, it's going to cost you about $10 to ship that. If you try to ship it in some other box or envelope that's not a flat rate. And then obviously your cost of goods, those receipts you want to keep. Your yard sale information, your estate sale information. If you can get a receipt, get a receipt. If you can't, then you want to do that. But it's all about attitude. It's all about persistence and staying with it. I'm up every morning by anywhere from 5:30 to 6:30 to 7 at the latest, and doing this. Now, I'm driven, and I was driven when I worked, so I'm used to the work ethic. It's not everybody's work ethic. And when I first retired, I was sleeping till 10 and 11, and I realized, it's nice to be retired and it's nice to relax, but you can't sleep your life away. So I do this every day. I have things that I have to do besides the video. I have to source. This week I am taking a hiatus from sourcing because I want to get caught up on my death pile and get some listings done. And then again, this weekend I'll be doing some more organization, working on the garage shelving that I purchased last week and get all that set up. It takes a lot of effort, and you got to think this thing through to be organized, to know where your stuff is when you're selling it. And I promised that I would show you the numbers in the 90 days. So I will do that. Let me get back to eBay. main screen. And again, this is, I don't mind sharing personal information. It's if it helps and lets you see what can be done. Again, now I have over 2,200 listings on eBay. Um, it's not everybody's thing. I mean, some people are out there with 70 and 100 and 200, but you're not going to sell a lot if you don't have a lot. So, and apparently I've sold something else, and we'll find out what that is in just a second. But I am a top seller. These are my numbers. I'm up 40% in the last 30 days. 41%, or sorry, I'm trying to see it without my glasses on. My reading glasses. 41%. So in the last 90 days, I've done $16,426.86 in sales. Now, that's not profit. And I've sold, in just the last 30 days, I've done $7,252.97 in sales. So it is what it is. I mean, you can do it too. Again, I don't have to worry about the money because I do draw a pension. But if you want to do this, this is the kind of money you can make. Again, if you buy the right items. And again, don't let me skew that, because I do have a lot of items that are sitting in inventory. I have approximately $40,000 of inventory that I have, but I'm dwindling that down, especially in the clothing side, because that's where most of the money was spent. The hard goods, the good thing about that is a lot of times you don't spend as much as you do on the clothing. And so, again, it is what it is. There's the last 12 months, 26,000. This year I'll probably blow that away because I wasn't trying to go over 20,000, and I ended up doing it because of the PayPal. I didn't factor that in, and again, it's a learning thing. Luckily, I did have most of the receipts, and I created for my bank statements a lot of the information that I needed to file my taxes. I bought a lot of stuff last year, especially in the summer months when I first really got into this, kind of went crazy. And now I've backed off that, and I don't spend quite as much as I did then. And again, I'm not buying as much clothing, although I will still find some. It is a learning curve. And if you got questions or comments, make them below. I'll answer your questions. I respond to everybody that sends me a question or a comment. Not just with a heart like some of the other guys do. I know some of them have a lot more followers than I do. I currently have 82 subscribers. I would love to have many more. I'd like to have people watching and learning. But all in all, it's a good thing for me. It keeps me busy. It makes it hard to take off and go places and do things because I'm always worried about the business. And I do care about my customers. And yesterday I had a South Park hat that I sent, and it was marked with the description that it was missing the little the button on the top of the hat. But it went to England, and they still weren't happy with it. They only paid me $7 for it, so I refunded their money. And sometimes that's just stuff you got to do. I only had 18 cents in the cap, so basically I lost the shipping from here to Kentucky. So I lost maybe $4. Those are things you got to do, and you got to be careful of the scams and the people. I've had some that tried to, I didn't get the video game. Well, it shows delivered, and you upload the tracking, and eBay takes over from there. But you're going to run into that stuff. But just stay with it, plug away, get diverse, do the offers and the discounts, and you'll be successful. There's no question. So comp the stuff and make sure you know what you're buying and what you're looking at, and learn, research stuff. What's hot? I write a lot of notes when I'm watching YouTube videos of things that people sell, especially for high dollar, and I'm looking for them. So I appreciate everybody. The video was a little long. It's probably my longest video so far, but I hope you learned something today, and I hope you keep tuning in and subscribe and share it, and hopefully I can get some more subscribers. Thank you, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, and the Terminator will be out too. He's not going to be here tomorrow, but somebody else will. Tune in. Have a good day.